Okay, let's see if I can actually film this video. I'm gonna like watch this video first before I post it or anything, just because I know my voice sounds so bad. But I was like, if I don't film this video now, I'll never do it. So look at my little cow picture. My voice sounds so bad. So I've been meaning to do a pregnancy update like my entire pregnancy. It's just hard. Like, I have no motivation to do anything. I can't breathe. If you can't tell, I have a lot going on. I'm not sick, but I just have a lot of personal stuff going on with some excess bleeding that we're trying to figure out, and blood pressure issues and things like that. In our last video I mentioned that it was Wednesday and I had to go back to the doctor Friday, and today's Friday. And my blood pressure is still pretty high. It was lower than it was, but it was still pretty high, so I have to go back on Monday. So I'm basically going to the doctor every 3 days. So I asked on Instagram, which if you don't follow me on Instagram, it is always linked in the description box, and then in our banner, like I have it tagged as well, mine and James's, and also Twitter. I also have my phone. I have some questions screenshotted. So I'm just gonna read through these questions, and I'm gonna try to answer them to the best of my ability. Okay, so the first question is, how did you know you were pregnant, and what was James's initial reaction? So I think we have mentioned this previously, but not really told the whole story. We might have in our Popeyes mukbang. I can't remember or not. But so how did you know you were pregnant? So basically I had some extra tests at home, and I think it was about 2 days after I was supposed to get my period. I bet you can hear those freaking birds. Sorry, we have birds and they're really freaking loud, and my cat is really loud too, so I'm really sorry about that. Today's video is just a mess. My voice is ugly, my damn birds are loud, the cat is loud, I look like hell, but I just really wanted to give you guys an update on what's been going on, because I could really have the baby any day now. So if I don't do this now, I'm never gonna do it. So how did you guys know you were pregnant? So like I said, I had some extra tests, and it was about 2 days after I was supposed to get my period, and I have never had a regular period since I started my period. I actually started my period fairly late. I know a lot of girls start their period like in elementary school. I didn't start mine until high school, and it was always irregular. I got my period, it was just never on the same day, but it was pretty close. I had the period tracker app, whatever, and it was supposed to be like 2 days after I was supposed to get my period, and I hadn't got it yet. And mind you, at this point I had been taking pregnancy tests like every month for probably like 6 months, honestly. And I took a digital test, the Clear Blue I think it's called, and the digital one just pregnant or not pregnant, and it literally turned off. No answer, it turned off. And I showed it to James, and I'm just like, babe, like, I'm pregnant. Like, it just turned off. Like, why would it turn off? James like, it's probably expired. So we look at the packaging, it didn't expire until like 2024 or 2022, something like that. And I'm like, babe, it's not expired. Like, it says right there on the package, you know, it's not expired. And I'm like, should I take another one, because I still had one more in the box, because it was like a box of 3. And he's like, no, just leave it alone, just leave it alone. And this is like right before we're going to bed. I'm like, okay, but like I just knew I was pregnant. And then the next morning, we used to work at like 5 a.m. so we got up at like 4 a.m. and so the next morning I took a test, the second test that I had from that box, and because they say like the first pee is the most accurate, so I took the test and it came up pregnant right away. And I was just like, babe, like, and mind you, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, like we're hella tired, getting ready for work, like, and I was just like, babe, and like I just started crying, and he just knew, because he knew what I was doing. And so yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, we were both really in shock. We obviously were not using protection, so we knew that it was something that could happen, but you always have that mindset like, oh, it'll never happen to me. And so that was our fault for having that mindset. But yeah, so his initial reaction was shook to the core, and then we had to go to work right away, so we didn't even have a chance to talk about it till later that day. Another question is, did you get any stretch marks? So I did mention that in our last video. I did start to get stretch marks about a month ago. And like I said, I've been using the Burt's Belly cream. I don't really know if it's doing anything yet because it's only been about a week. But yeah, I'm pretty lucky. I haven't definitely not got as much stretch marks as a lot of women have. But yes, I do have stretch marks. What are things / food you craved? So ice. I'm pretty sure I'm anemic, but haven't been diagnosed by my doctor. But I could eat 10 pounds of ice a day if you would let me. I liked spicy foods pre-pregnancy, but now that's all I can freaking think about is hot sauce, hot sauce, hot sauce. I put hot sauce on everything, and like spicy chips. Chocolate. I didn't really like chocolate before pregnancy, but chocolate is so fucking good. Things that annoyed you more than normal. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I have a temper. I'm not a patient person. I get annoyed very easily, like very easily, and I was like this before pregnancy. In my personal opinion, I don't think pregnancy has made it that much worse. You would have to ask James's opinion on that. Maybe I'll have him like insert a clip of his opinion on that. I'm sure he's gonna say I've been, you know, more emotional. But I can't really say one thing in specific that has annoyed me more. Actually, I would say, Maggie, if you knock the camera down, I'm gonna be so mad. Actually, I would say unwanted advice. That's all I'm gonna say. A lot of people have given a lot of unwanted advice. What was going through your head when you found out you were having a girl? So if you've watched that video when it's like when we announced that we were having a girl, you could just see, come here Maggie, you can just see the freaking smile on my face. I mean, everybody told me that like as soon as I found out I was having a girl, I was, come on. I was just glowing, like from head to toe, like just glowing. I was so happy. I knew that we were having a girl from day one, and that's why like at our gender reveal I really don't want to use the word disappointed because I like feel like a terrible mother when I say that, but I just wasn't as happy as I would have been if they said girl, you know. But I was just so happy. James is a girl dad. James is going to be a wonderful father. She's going to have such a good example of how to be treated and what it's like to have a good father figure in her life, and that is the most beautiful thing in this world. So I was just beyond excited. How has it been mentally? So mentally, it's definitely been a challenge. I definitely suffered from anxiety and depression pre-pregnancy. A lot of people do. It's a very common thing. Hi, pretty girl. This is Maggie. Anxiety and depression is really a thing, you know, and people shouldn't be ashamed of, you know, suffering from those types of things. It's been a struggle mentally. I, you know, had to leave my job. I had a really good job, and I had to leave my job, and that took a toll on me mentally. I felt like a terrible person. I felt like I wasn't helping provide for my family, and that's a really shitty feeling to have. It's scary. I mean, I'm 20 now, but I was 19 when I found out I was pregnant, and even though in my opinion I matured fairly fast and grew up fairly fast for my age, it's a freaking scary thing to be a young mom. And especially since it wasn't really planned. Everything in our life has changed since the day we found out we were pregnant. Jobs, moving, I mean, everything has changed. So it was it's been hard. It really has been hard. What was the other question is, what's the hard part about being pregnant, like physically wise? Physically, I'm really small. I was 130 pounds or 135 pounds pre-pregnancy, about 5 foot, 5'1", and I'm now 160 pounds, so I've gained about 25 pounds. Dude, it's hard. It hurts everywhere. My back hurts so bad. My legs go numb. My hips, I can't sleep. Can you move, girl? Like, you were all up in the frame. Maggie. Dude, seriously. I'm just a small, I'm a small person. I'm really small, and I've put on 25 pounds, and I have this big old baby inside of me that's estimated to be about 8.2 pounds. And it just hurts. I mean, I can't even explain the pain. Like, when you're a mom one day, you'll just know. And the second part to that question was, is it mentally draining? That kind of piggybacks off of how was it mentally. It's extremely mentally draining. There's so many freaking things to think about that you would have never ever thought about. And same person, kind of continuing on to that question, is like, did you have like a lot of morning sickness? Like, did you throw up a lot? I was fairly lucky. I would say I probably threw up about 10 times or less. I did have morning sickness. Now, morning sickness doesn't, in my opinion, necessarily mean throwing up all the time. I was really freaking nauseous to the point where I had to leave my job. I couldn't talk. I was so nauseous all the time. But when it actually came to throwing up, I only threw up about 10 times or less. So I was fairly lucky. And one of the last questions was, what was the most exciting thing to buy and or decorate for the baby? So if we're being honest, I personally have not bought anything for the baby. When it comes to like clothes or shoes or diapers or anything. We had 2 baby showers, and we were extremely blessed to get so many things. I mean, we have like over 2,000 diapers. Like, we have more than we will ever use, and for that I'm forever grateful. So thank you to everybody who participated in our baby showers and gifted us things. You guys are amazing. We have, this is her dresser here, you can kind of see it. It's 6 drawers, and it's stuffed full of clothes. In the closet, she has clothes in the closet, and I have this other plastic thing that has 3 drawers that are filled with clothes and shoes. And you know, we're so lucky. We actually bought like 4 items, or we bought her coming home outfit ourselves. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't really buy much, so that's that on that. When it comes to decorating, we did a little bit of decorating. I'm just gonna show you guys, you know, that cow picture and her headbands, and there's some of her stuffed animals, and then the room is pink, as you can see. And then I got all of her little blankets in a basket. But that's really it. When it comes to her portion of the room, we don't have a separate nursery for her. We share a bedroom. We have a very large bedroom, so we share a bedroom with the baby. So yeah, I mean, we didn't really decorate that much for the baby either, which is kind of sad. You know, when we do move eventually and she has her own room, oh, I'm gonna go all out. She's gonna have the best playroom ever. I can't freaking wait. I already have it all planned out in my head. But yeah, so hopefully that answered some of your guys' questions and gave you some insight on how my pregnancy has gone. I'm 36 weeks and 5 days. So on Sunday I'll be 37 weeks. So I have about 3 weeks left. She can come any day. My doctor said that he's not gonna let me go past 41 weeks, which would be January 13th. So 4 weeks or less until baby girl is here, which is insane. I just want to say thank you guys so much for all your support and love. James and I have amazing friends and family that love this little girl more than anything, and she's not even here yet, so we're just so lucky for that. So hopefully I actually post this video. I hope it gave you guys some insight again on my pregnancy and answered any questions you might have had. If you guys ever have any other questions, please feel free to ask me. Like I said, all of our social media is always linked in the description box, or you can comment and I will be sure to reply to you. And I just really appreciate you guys being on this journey with us. So I will see you guys in the next video.